Bloody hell. Well, what'd I do?
You know bloody well.
Now, you tell me, what'd I do?
You cannot tackle like that in soccer. I've been telling you that for a bloody
I was
year.
just going for the ball.
You use that bloody American style again here and you'll be barred.
Like, you're playing English, I play American.
Well, don't play the bloody American game. Get up.
Hey, what kind of game is this? For old ladies and fairies? I quit.
Okay.
All right, people, welcome back to another exciting episode of Citizen Frame. Okay, we are getting to Falling Down and the Silence of the Lambs retrospective. That is definitely next, I promise. But Shooter McGavin here wanted to do a football or a soccer film.
Soccer? Shooter McGavin? What the fuck?
Because of the World Cup. And so the happy medium was, well, we haven't done a Stallone film in a while. So we'll do 1981's Victory, or some of you might know it, Escape to Victory. But 95% of the world know it as Victory.
I don't know about that. I think in Europe it was Escape to Victory. I've always known it as Escape to Victory. I think it was just America that it was Victory.
No, it was, which I don't understand. Victory's fine.
It was Escape to Victory?
Escape to Victory, it just doesn't make any sense. I'd rather just have a victory. I know, just Escape to Victory. It sounds like Escape to Witch Mountain, like a Disney film.
No, but it sort of harkens back to The Great Escape, which obviously it's inspired by, at least in part. But
yeah,
Escape to Victory as a sentence doesn't really make sense, actually, whenever you examine it.
Thank you. So
yeah.
You just proved my point. And I'll also say, this has got Bridge on River Kwai, The Great Escape, even The Longest Yard a little bit.
The Mean Machine.
But I'll tell you what, this movie's not even close. Okay, we'll be talking about those films, but this movie's not even close to any of those. So I want everyone to know those three films are far, 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 far superior than what we're about to talk about.
But I still love this.
All right. Yeah. Okay. All right. We got our boy John Huston. He's a famous actor director, known for classic movies like Moby Dick, The African Queen, Maltese Falcon, The Man Who Would Be King, and Pritchie's Honor. Fun fact about Pritchie's Honor, his daughter, we all know her as Angelica Huston, got the Oscar for that movie.
We didn't know Angelica Huston was his daughter. There you go.
That's his daughter.
Every day's a school day.
He directed her.
Yeah.
Yep. He also directed the film Annie.
Tomorrow, I love you, tomorrow. Go ahead. Having a clip from the film there.
Fucking terrible. That is terrible.
You're only
Jesus.
a day away.
Wow. I hated that movie. I hated that movie before you did that. Now I fucking loathe it.
Now you hate me even more.
Yes, that goes without saying.
Yeah.
So he decided he was getting of age and he wanted to dabble, and it became with 1981's Victory. Now, this movie cost $10 million. Didn't really, I think it broke even. No, came and went. Now, the movie Victory is loosely, and I mean loosely, inspired by a famous match called the Death Match. It was take place in August 1942 during the Nazi occupation of Kiev. Ukrainian players formed a team called the FC Start. They played a series of matches against German military and other teams, and they won 5-3 over the elite team. So that's the story. No escape or anything.
They were shot.
Nothing big, but
by the Gestapo.
That's
some of their players were. They were.
Well, no. You're giving false facts.
That's what I read. That's what I read anyway.
No, that's not true, people. The match itself went on, blah, blah. The soldiers within that match went on to continue the war or whatever happened and died. Yes, in whatever happens, sadly, through the repercussions of war. But it had nothing to do with this match.
Okay, it's just that's what I read. So obviously I've read false information. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No, so obviously the ramifications of war, obviously there a lot of people will pass and what did perish, but not because of this match.
Okay. I also got vibes of the real life incident from World War One, of the Christmas truce, where the Germans and the British, the Allies, during 1914 Christmas, there was a Christmas truce, and they came together in no man's land and played a football match and exchanged gifts and stuff and Christmas presents.
Wasn't that Americans?
It was Allied soldiers in general, so there was very possibly Americans.
There's a movie about that. No, I think it's Americans. It was during they all got snowbound.
In reality, maybe the movie has them as Americans, but in reality,
you're talking about the midnight. You're talking about there's a movie about it, and they're not going to rewrite the whole fucking. Hold on, it's called The Midnight Clear.
America didn't during World War One until 1917, so it was 1914.
Let's read up on it. Let's read up on it. Will you just read up on it? I could be wrong.
Yeah.
See, but no, you're just jumping down my throat, just attacking me like a monkey on a cupcake.
A monkey on a cupcake? What? I've never heard that before.
Very hungry monkey. Okay, Midnight Clear, 1992 American war drama written by Keith Gordon. That's pretty cool. Ethan Hawke, Gary Sinise, Peter Berg, good cast. It's based on William Morton's novel. Well, this would have been World War II, 1944.
Right, yeah. And World War One, America didn't join until 1917. And so the 1914 Christmas truce, when the Allied soldiers in no man's land played the Germans and they exchanged Christmas presents and stuff and played a football match. Yeah, I don't think the Americans were anything to do with that. I was just looking up the one about the death match with the Ukrainian soldiers. And yes, it was actually reported by the Soviet Union that some of the players from the team were arrested and executed for humiliating Germany. But it was actually a fake narrative by the Soviets at the time because they changed it in the mid-60s. Yeah, so there you go. Apparently the lie or whatever, or the rumor, actually came from the Soviets themselves.
I researched it with the Soviet papers too and everything.
Right, because you can speak
and I made sure
Ukrainian.
Yep, and I knew it was all a lie, and that's how I knew that in the beginning, saying it never happened.
Right,
but if you actually looked it up to call me a liar is what you tried to do.
No, I was interested in knowing.
I am nothing but a constant professional on this podcast.
Even though you got the 1914 World War One no man's land game wrong, but you said it was Americans and they didn't enter the war until 1917, right?
No, that's not that's an easy faux pas because the exact
still a faux pas.
It's that, but you just rewrote history.
No, the Soviets did.
Wow.
Comrade.
Okay, let's get back to this fucking movie. Jesus Christ.
History lesson.
Fucking hell.
On Citizen Freedom.
Victory, yeah. We got our boy Stallone as Captain Robert Hatch, Michael Caine as Captain John Colby, Max von Sydow as Major Carl von Steiner, Pelė as Louis Fernandez, Bobby Moore as Terry Brady, and Osvaldo Achilles as Carlos Ray. Those last three, I believe, are pro soccer players.
There's other ones there. There's the likes of John Wark, who played for Ipswich Town and Liverpool, Russell Osman, Mike Summerby. There's there's Dutch players there as well. Basically, apart from the main ones that were actors, everyone else in the team were at the time professional footballers. Norwegian players.
Yeah, they did the same. They did the same thing with The Longest Yard.
Yeah,
you had the main actors, Burt Reynolds and so forth, but then you had Terry Bradshaw and the gang.
Yes,
all these 70s and late 60s football vets playing the guards.
Yeah,
is pretty much what they were doing, and they were the guards. Mm-hmm. Same kind of concept. There was remade. Was originally Mean Machine, which was the football team, but then they remade the Longest Yard back to the Mean Machine with Vinnie Jones and the gang a few years back.
And of course,
if you like the Longest Yard, you can check out the Mean Machine.
Yeah, and of course, Vinnie Jones was before he became an actor. He was, of course, a professional footballer, played for Wimbledon and the like.
Yeah. And was barred for life from beating the shit out of half the teams.
Well, he was known back then. He was known as a dirty player. He would have got stuck in. But the team he played for, mainly Wimbledon, they were known as the Crazy Gang. So they won the FA Cup in 1988, actually, against Liverpool. But they weren't named the Crazy Gang for nothing. You had John Fashanu and the like. Yeah. but good on them. They did all right.
So I love this opening sequence. The opening sequence is so funny. You got this guy and he's crawling through the mud and he's working his way. You can kind of tell he's kind of trying to escape from prison camp.
Yep.
And it looks like he's going to do it. And all of a sudden the lights come on, the sirens go off, the dogs start barking, and then he gets blown to bits by shotguns and
Yes.
thrown into barbed wire. Then it cuts to this rah-rah, like rah-rah football music.
Yeah.
After this poor bastard just got slaughtered.
Yeah, it's Ponte does the score. I would say as well, with this opening sequence, it's the only time in the entire film that the Nazis actually pose a threat. The Nazis here are the most stupidest, biggest pussies I've ever seen.
Yeah,
in a
it's
film.
terrible. It's terrible. It's like, I don't know if there's a show called Hogan's Heroes.
Yes.
And these guys, if you've seen, and most of our core audience in the States there know Hogan Heroes, the Nazis are dipshits in it. And so this is pretty much all you did. And Max von Sydow, who I love, by the way, he's a wonderful actor, plays von Steiner. He's useless. He's just an idiot. These guys, these are the stupidest people ever.
Also, I would say that the concentration camp that they're in is a fucking holiday camp. All they do is play football. I don't think that the real life sort of concentration camps and death camps were as easy as that, let's just say. But
no, you're getting them confused, because there's a difference between the death camps and the concentration camps.
But
the death camps and the concentration camps.
Still rough.
Let me finish. Let me finish before you jump in. All right. So the concentration camps and death camps were for the Eastern Europeans who they were going to be executed or not taken care of. These are prisoners of war.
Yeah,
there's a difference.
I know.
These guys these camps were part of the NATO agreement, whatever it is. When this is how you treat a prisoner of war, and this is why the camp comes off a little more, and that's why the main guy, our boy Colby, wants to try to get some of these Eastern Europeans on the team to save their lives.
Also,
so that's the difference.
Yeah. I know that is true, of course. But the problem here within the confines of this film is there is no real threat then, or even villains.
Yes.
And it also reminded me of actually, although they're done better in the Indiana Jones films, but Raiders of the Lost Ark and The Last Crusade, where the Nazis there, even Spielberg admitted, are portrayed as pantomime villains, but they're actually obviously a threat in the Indiana Jones films. Whereas here, they're just useless. It's so stupid.
Yeah, no. I mean, even though it's a lighter camp, it's a little too light.
Yeah.
We needed someone like to get beaten to death or something. I mean, we needed something here, because there's no. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the problem here. I mean, I didn't give a shit in this film.
You know who's the biggest threat here? The German captain of the team. Of the team. Your badass who misses the penalty. He's the biggest threat here. Whereas Max von Sydow is pretty much on the side of the Allied team anyway. Here's another thing. Michael Caine is way too old and overweight here. He's about the same age as me here whenever he did the role, to be playing a professional footballer. And apparently
he's an ex.
Yeah, but I think
he hasn't played in years.
He would have still been a current in the sort of
they have that comedy. He has that conversation
where he plays for West Ham.
He's an ex-player.
War.
Yeah,
but don't forget, there's only a few. Also, Max von Sydow's character is a former player from 1938 or something. Again, there's a lot of playing about with the ages here and stuff. And apparently, Pelė is on record as saying that Michael Caine was absolutely useless at football during the. But I mean, that's okay. He's not a footballer. He's allowed to be. He's an actor.
Yeah, I don't think Pelė should be saying anything. I mean, it's Pelė. You know what I mean? A pro athlete like Pelė shouldn't be.
Well, he's good.
Come on,
Pellé's good here, I think, especially with his.
Oh yeah, okay,
kick.
Sure.
The overhead kick.
He's good for the slow motion. He's good for the slow motion shots. Okay, I mean, we'll get to the Sports Illustrated fucking goals we'll be coming to. This movie's quite laughable, and it's just
still love it though.
All around, it's pretty bad film. Even Carlos, after the man, this poor bastard, after the rah rah music, this poor bastard who gets shot in the beginning. Carlos, one of the prisoners, goes because they're good friends with the Nazis, I guess, and goes, "Oh man, you killed my man." And he's like, "Oh, that was by accident.
Yeah.
Oh, that was by accident. It was by accident. You set the dogs on
It's
him."
never brought up
And,
again.
but,
Yeah.
and you put like 90 rounds into
Your
him.
gun went
That
off
was
by
an
accident.
accident.
Yeah. And it's never brought up again. But yeah, it's a bit too lighthearted. Here, I was reading up, I don't know how true this is, but apparently the original screenwriter of this was so horrified at the changes made to his script in the final film, because apparently it was a very serious drama, in first draft. And apparently he was so horrified, he considered at one point committing suicide. So, yeah.
All right, that's
Apparently so.
That's an issue.
Apparently
That's an
so.
issue with him. But no, I mean, I'll give you this is nothing. Obviously, John Huston's a legend, but this isn't his cup of tea. Longest Yard is a perfect example. Longest Yard had comedy in it. It was edgy, but you had the guards were assholes. You had poor bastard being set on fire in that film. You had,
Threat?
it was brutal,
A dramatic threat.
very brutal. But there's nothing here, and actually they even try to pepper in like I mentioned earlier, Eastern Europeans to come. He wants Colby, and I get it. His plan is he agrees to do this match against the Germans, but he gets to bring in his own people.
Yeah.
People he knows that are very good soccer players. So he asks, I want these Eastern Europeans because they're very good. He doesn't really need them, but he wants them because he wants to at least say he can save
their lives.
Save these 5 men, and which I can respect. But the problem is this movie's played for yucks, and you've got Rocky in it, who, by the way, I love Stallone, but he should not be in this film at all. He was a hot yuck up-and-comer from Rocky. This is 1981. He was just doing Nighthawks. Can't remember if First Blood came out yet.
That was the year after.
He was just finding his niche. He's a fish out of water here. But anyways, they're trying to play this dark tone with Colby wanting to save these men, but yet you have all these comic relief moments and these besties with Colonel Steiner, and it's just like, oh, this doesn't fit.
What about the stiff upper lip British officers, the colonel and stuff? They're almost like,
oh my god! You mean Eye Patch? Remember Eye Patch? Remember him? He's in there.
Yeah. But there's also the British
just
commanding officers, and they're all very stiff upper lip, old chap. Oh bloody hell!
God, yeah. Yeah, they're the ones who are always trying to find an escape plan.
That's right. Yeah.
And they're terrible at it.
Well, Hatch escapes thanks to them and the false ID and stuff, But then to tell Hatch, like actually Steve McQueen in The Great Escape, that he has to come back, So
The Great Escape. Yeah, this is they take bits. I even got Bridge Never Quay, and like I mentioned before, and of course Longest Yard, and of course The Great Escape, and it doesn't hold a candle to any of these films. And by the way, if I was the man who created the wonderful score from The Great Escape, everybody knows the score, The Great Escape. It's literally ripped off in this film.
Bill Conti, yeah.
Bill Conti, I love you, man. Rocky and the Karate Kid theme. We got your back, and you work with Stallone quite a bit, and kudos, but. Dude, come on!
It was probably a studio note that was what they were looking for. And they probably said, "Watch The Great Escape and give us something that's similar, without completely ripping it off." And this is what we got.
I got really confused with Hutch's character. Is it Hatch? Hatch's character. It just was all over the place. He's playing the game with them, and he tackles people, blah, blah. And he goes, oh, this is an American-style football, blah, blah. And they get into an argument, and he quits. And it was so over the top. And he decides he's going to quit. He's going to do his own escape. Hence why he goes get a passport. And he's been doing head counts of the guards' movements.
Yes.
But because they're planning this new soccer match with the Germans, they bring in for all these extra prisoners coming in to train for the match. They expand. They have their own camp now, so the guards' structure changes, not allowing Stallone or Hatch to escape. So because of this new infrastructure they have for just the training camp for these POW sportsmen, whatever. And he's all pissed.
Yes.
And what I have a problem with is Colby. I thought initially wanted just to play the game, but his whole plan was to escape.
Yeah, well, no, I don't think it was at first. I think he does get sort of talked into it by Max.
Well, who does
Sydow.
that? We never get that. We never get that scene.
No. At the start, whenever Max von Sydow first suggested to him, actually in a couple of scenes, Colby quite correctly says, "Oh, you're just going to be using it for propaganda and all this sort of thing," which is actually obviously what the Nazis are going to do. But that's when eventually they decide that, yeah, we'll use it as an escape bid. But it's not straight away.
When does he say that? Colby's never told that because there's a line where
It's a guy.
Stallone gets his pet.
It's the British commanding officers who are arranging it.
I don't. But you were never told that because there's a scene where Hatch is going to pick up his passport, right?
Yeah,
because he got it from the passport guy, right? But the passport guy goes, "Oh, the commanders took it. They want to talk to you." So he goes to them.
Yes.
And he goes, "Hey, can I have my passport?" "Well, listen, where are you going to go after you escape?" "Yeah, I'm going to Sweden." Yeah.
What's her name?
Well, why don't you go to Paris and meet our team there, and then and liaison with our team, and let us know where they're gonna, where they're gonna be, so when we play our match, they can help these guys escape. And then Stallone goes, or Hatch, whatever I was calling Stallone. Stallone goes, "Oh, wait a minute, so Colby's involved?" And then he says yes.
Yeah, it's never really.
But we never had a conversation with Colby being involved.
Well, I mean, you're sort of. I think they're basically saying, well, obviously that's what they're going to do. So it's like they're always wanting to escape. Obviously, they're in a concentration camp. So, but yes, we don't actually get it explicitly stated. But you're just sort of, as an audience member, at least I was assuming that yes, they're going to hatch an escape with Hatch.
See, I thought that's the problem with the film right there. It's muddled as fuck. And I thought they're going to do the Alec Guinness role for our boy Colby. Yeah,
with the Nazis, yeah.
And yeah. So what I thought was going to happen was Colby, it plays a lot like Colby's like Nicholson. Okay, Nicholson is the main character that Guinness played in Bridge of the River Kwai. And then you got Max von Sydow plays Steiner. He's like Colonel Sydow from the Japanese lieutenant, whatever, in Bridge on the River Kwai. And they always have these words of wits and stuff like that in the film. And then you've got the one who escapes, who's William Holden. Is it William Holden? Yes, William Holden's in that.
It's been years since I've seen it.
Yeah, William Holden, he plays Shears. He's the one who escapes, but eventually goes back with some troops, right? Same kind of concept, okay? You're kind of copying there. But I thought what they were going to do was when he gets back there, Colby is so into the team now that he doesn't want to escape. He's with the team.
Well, that does come into play.
It does, but it's cheat.
During the match?
It's a massive cheat. Yeah, well, I want to win now. I mean, which is quite stupid.
Ridiculous.
Fuck the winning. You want to escape. It's stupid. It's preposterous. But that's the route I thought they would take, going that route of the Nicholson character in Bridge on the River Kwai. But they never do. And it's so stupid why they decide not to escape.
I know.
We're not there yet. I might be jumping ahead. But there's so many similarities to all these films we've been talking about, but the execution is muddled. And I'm like, wait, what's going on? What's this guy here for? They seem like they have a lot of scenes that aren't necessary, but there's scenes that are too short that need to be longer.
There needed to be more focus on particular plot strands, i.e. Hatch escaping and liaison with the French resistance. But yeah, it's all right. Like, I've seen worse, but it is. See, to be honest, when I was watching this as a kid, I did find a lot of the stuff in the camp that did drag a bit, and it still does, actually. And it's just like, you were sort of thinking to yourself, just get to the match. Just get the Pelė doing the overhead kick. That sort of thing. So the first hour or so is a bit sort of muddled, yes, contrived as well, and also just a bit. There's a lack of drama there because there's no real threat from the Nazis. The only real drama we'll get is actually whenever Hatch escapes, and goes to the French resistance. Apart from that, the Nazis here are too nice. It's stupid.
No, it's terrible. It's terrible. This is terrible. And then when he does escape, which is way too easy, by the way.
Oh, big time.
And I mean, come on. I mean, he escapes, and Colby and the other men of the football team have a mannequin to replace him as they're walking. This is,
Also,
I mean, you're laughing, but come on. This is not a comedy. This isn't played for yucks, yucks, yucks. This is really bad filmmaking.
What's yuck, yuck, yuck?
I mean, for laughs.
Right,
Yuck,
okay.
yuck, yuck. You never heard that before?
Right, well, probably. But anyway, right. No, the fact that he escapes also way too easily by just basically jumping out of the shower room, climbing up a bit on the drain pipe, and then climbing onto the back of a car. It's just, it's the only real drama we'll get here. But at the same time, fuck, I could have done that. That'd be completely useless.
And then, God love him, we love our Sly, yo. But come on, him speaking French is laughable. I mean, when he goes to the train scene, he's got his passport, and he's like, "Parlez-vous France?" I'm like, oh my God.
If I was a German soldier, I'd straight away, not just because of Sylvester Stallone, but he's talking, obviously, he's not talking in a French accent, let's just say. Yeah, and then, of course, there's a romantic angle as well with the...
Oh, this is terrible.
French lady. Yeah.
Terrible. First of all, her name's Renee.
Yes.
She's beautiful. But they're in the room for 5 minutes, and she's cutting bread.
Yep.
She's hot, and she's cutting bread. I mean, man, she'd be hot. I'd love her to be in my kitchen cooking my bread. And then she could be like making me making me peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and stuff on my bread.
So sexist.
And then
a woman's place is in the kitchen.
And then, she's French. She's French. And so she could probably make me a grilled cheese with some bleu cheese, whatever they pronounce it. Fromage.
Right, okay.
Some fromage.
Croissant. Yeah.
And on a croissant, fresh croissant from Renee in the morning would be nice.
Yeah.
But anyways, at the end of the film, they make out. And it's like, where did this relate? What?
He talks to her very briefly whenever he's on the outside. And she tells him she's got a son because her husband was killed during the war, blah, blah, blah. The next thing, whenever they escape, I don't know, maybe it was the emotion of just them escaping and stuff. And them winning, I didn't actually win the match. Maybe she was just overexcited because I fell in love instantly after he saved the penalty at the end. They earned the draw.
Yeah, come on. I hear you, man. It was the 40s in Paris, man.
That's all people had.
So,
Stallone.
So there's the resistance.
Yes.
I'm using my French accent.
Stallone's better than you, actually. So.
Yo, hey.
You'd be shot by the Gestapo way before Stallone would.
Can I have some fromage with my bread, please?
From Renee for you, I'm afraid. You'll be like her husband.
So he goes, they got the plan in place. We're going to build a tunnel, blah, blah, blah.
Yes. In the sewers.
This is the stadium this is the arena you're going to be using.
Yeah.
And he goes, okay, we need you to do us a favor. He goes, oh, yeah, what's that? I need you to go back in to get caught. And he's like, what the fuck? And the worst one-line fix ever. Oh, don't worry about it. They're going to want to take you back because they want to make sure that you weren't a threat to them. And if they capture you and put you in, then they'll be like, oh, God, they got him. Nobody can escape from here.
Yeah.
Bull fucking shit. He would have been shot dead in 2 fucking seconds.
And that what they would have done to make an example out of someone who escaped, like the guy at the very start. He gets shot dead and has the dog set on him and everything. But yeah, I mean, it is contrived. So it is. And also it's contrived how they actually get him out of solitary confinement as well. They break the poor Irish guy, who's not even a real he wasn't even a real goalkeeper. He was a winger, actually. He was but for reasons unknown only to the filmmakers at the time, they had him as the keeper. So Colby has to break his arm so that Hatch can then be the replacement goalkeeper to get them out, which doesn't really make any sense. Well, I suppose I got the information, but yeah. But bit of a shit one.
It was just so, and we don't even see him get caught. Nothing even cool like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that there. Yeah,
like give us something where he gets caught, and he's going to go to a different prison.
Yeah,
like, since you escaped, you're going to a harder prison. He's like, what the fuck? What? And then there could be a conversation with Steiner or something. We want him back. Give us something that there's some threat here that he's going to go to a different prison. And the last minute he goes back to the original, because this is just too fucking easy. Jesus. I mean, staying at this fucking camp, I mean, it's nice out.
All of these play
They
football,
get nice,
Yeah,
they get nice clean, and their clothes are quite clean. I mean, I'll say what, this German camp, guess they must have some really nice laundry services, because they wear whites and they're pretty clean the next day.
Yeah, and then I mean, it is so easy in this German concentration camp that they will happily go back to it, then get their freedom at halftime during this football match, because they think we scored a goal. We scored a bloody goal. Terry scored a goal.
This football match was just, oh my
The match
God.
is all right. Actually,
And then,
it's well choreographed.
Stallone has got to be the worst fucking goalie ever.
It's for the character,
mean-
to be fair, because he's not really a goalkeeper.
I know. Don't be fair. He's terrible. We'll talk about it. But Pelė goes out because he gets hurt. So now they're fucked.
Yeah.
And the announcer, it's like 4-1 at this point.
Yes.
And the announcer, this fucking annoying announcer goes, "Oh my God, I haven't seen a match this action packed since last World Cup."
But that's part of the
I'm like,
propaganda.
what? Well, first of all, I'm like, what match are you talking about? It's 4-1.
But it's part of the Nazi propaganda. To be fair, that actually does work. And actually, he's a very clipped sort of BBC British accent. So there's a suggestion there, quite a dark suggestion, that he is a Nazi collaborator because he's wearing a Nazi armband, but it's not explored. So he's just like this irritating commentator, doing the propaganda commentating.
Do you know what the football team needed? They needed Trump here to get a couple of red cards against the Germans and get some of those fuckers off the green. That would have helped. So they go in halftime, right? It's 4-1.
Yes.
Pele's hurt, but not for long because he's Pelė. And we see, I do like the scene where you can see the hole coming out of the bath of the.
The water comes down the drain and the bath.
Yeah,
the big
and they come out.
thing.
Okay, guys. Yeah, and they're like, okay, guys, let's go. And then they're like, wait a minute, we're not going to escape. We want to win this game. We can win it. And Stone's like, whoa, what the fuck?
Right.
And it's like, I'm your fucking goalie. But Pelė wants to play. They all want to play. And they're all like, oh, fuck me. This is ridiculous. So they all decide not to escape and they come out to play. So when they come out to play, this is where you have the pros. And this is where it gets Sports Illustrated. What the fuck? Pele's playing with one arm and he's kicking the ball and then he does that cool flip and kicks the ball in the air and gets the goal.
Does the Ardiles flick?
It's a fucking slow-mo, and it's done twice. We have to see this fucking thing twice. And we see Steiner as the slow-mo is going, and Steiner's face, he's like, oh my God, I wish I was battling Regan again in The Exorcist. And then he's like, no, it's so fucking
whenever Steiner,
bad.
Max von Sydow gets up and claps, it reminds me of the scene in Rocky IV. Rocky IV.
Yes.
When the evil Russian politicians finally see the error of their ways, and they just look at each other at this big dramatic moment, and sort of they give this sort of brief nod, and then they stand up and go, Rocky, Rocky, Rocky.
Excuse me, that was Gorbachev. And speaking of Rocky IV, there's a scene. So there was a penalty kick earlier with the bad guy, right?
Yeah.
The bad penalty man. And he kicks and he goes past Stallone, and Stallone loses it. But now he's got to face him again. And so this is so bad. This is terrible film. He's facing the same penalty kick, same kicker and striker, whatever you want to fucking call him. And Stallone walks up to him and he just looks at him.
Looks him in the eyes.
Like gives him a intimidating look. And the first penalty kick this guy had was laughing at him, like, come on, fucker, come on. But little Stallone walks up to him, gives him that look. And I'm waiting for him to go, like he's facing Drago. And I'm waiting for him to say, go for it. You know what I mean? I'm waiting for that moment. So he goes back to the goal, and now that striker who's like a smart ass earlier and kicking some, he's like, oh, he's all scared and worried now. Oh my God, fuck. I'm like, fuck off.
Stallone psyched him out, and it's because of that he misses the penalty, and Stallone saves it.
Oh
I mean,
my
it actually
God.
does make
And then,
sense. I know it's corny as hell. But
oh,
it makes
don't
sense.
stop. Stop. It does not. That is fucking stupid. You got this big fucking 6'7" German striker who's fucking kicking the ball everywhere. And then Stallone comes up to him and goes,
I've obviously never played
just
football
looks at him.
yourself, you know.
Oh, you know what? Stop. Now you're just fucking kissing this. You're sucking this film's dick.
Like
It's
this
terrible.
film. Yes, it's
Oh,
ridiculous.
it's terrible.
But, yes, and there's a bit of nostalgia. I watched this loads. It was always on TV when I was a kid, and I've watched it loads of time. And yes, I know how ridiculous and how silly it is, but I still really enjoy it. And, throughout all of the silliness, the sort of ridiculousness of it, there's something I just can't help but like about it. And when, it's a bit emotional. I get a bit emotional at the end when Stallone saves the penalty and they escape anyway. Bobby Moore gets a flat.
Did they know that backup plan? Was that improv where the fans rush the field and then cover them up in clothes so no one can see what they look like and they all get off the field?
Yeah, it's because the French. Actually, it's probably one of the. And I'm being serious here. One of the more serious moments of the film, where the French fans are all singing "Victoire," because that sort of harks back to the French resistance, and it was Nazi occupied France, and how they're shouting for victory, not just victory in the match, but victory during the war. So they're all going "Victoire, Victoire."
Oh, I thought they were saying "foutoir."
No, I don't think so. Anyway,
you know what "foutoir" means?
No,
it means fuck you.
Right. Well, maybe they were, but it's Victoire. So I think, well, that's my read of it, and I'm not a fluent French speaker. Did a bit of school, but nothing elaborate. So then that's just so this actually sort of does make sense, where they're sort of after all of that and Stallone saving the penalty, they just say fuck it, and they all pile onto the pitch invasion, and they escape anyway. All the players.
I love how during the escape he has time to make out with the bread lady.
With the croissants. Renee.
You know what? He's making out with her because she's got cheesy croissant bagels or something in there.
And they give Bobby Moore a flat cap on a trench coat, to hide him. And then you know what? I have to admit, it does get me a little bit emotional. I know it's like I'm conflicted, like my brain's conflicted, where I'm sort of caught up in it, and I know it's ridiculous, and I know it's stupid, but I'm running with it at the same time, and it does get me a little bit emotional. I have to be honest.
You're such a dork.
It's true, but I have a lot of time for this film. I think it's very entertaining, as stupid as it is. But it's great once we get to the match. Again, it's pure over the top.
Yeah.
What about Pellé's goal? The overhead kick.
I mentioned that.
Yeah,
I just talked about that.
Yeah, just part.
Why way to keep up with the conversation there?
No, but I want to go back to it. Just in slow. That's in slow mo as well. So it is.
I said that 3 times.
I know, but
why are you bringing it back? No,
because I'm connecting it to the Stallone penalty, where he is in slow mo as well whenever he saves the penalty.
Okay, you're not connected. It's terrible. This is a terrible movie. I didn't care if any of them got shot. Yeah, that's fine.
For entertainment's sake. It does.
Yeah, I just look at I look at the director and I look at the cast, and we deserve better. That's it. It's that simple. You got to look at the artistic vision behind this, the talent behind this, and the actors in it. There's no excuse for the sloppiness.
We scored a goal.
It's just the way it is.
We scored a bloody goal.
Jesus Christ. Let's just end this. Let's get to Falling Down. All right, guys. Next up is Falling Down, and then finally the Silence of the Lambs retrospective. Perfect timing, because I just got the 4K copy of the director's cut of Manhunter's out.
Excellent film.
So extra 5 minutes of stuff that's in the film that they've never been seen before. So I'll be looking at that copy and reviewing it as we kick off Silence of the Lambs. And I think we're going to hold back on new releases for a bit. They always do well new releases, but I think a lot of people want to see the film, obviously, because we're spoiler filled, and so new releases don't hit it out of the park right away for us. So it's kind of pointless of us getting Disclosure Day out right away and all these other films out right away when you guys still have to see it. So we're going to push back on doing brand new releases right away. Despite them, they'll eventually find their footing and do well. It's just it needs a wider audience before we go ahead and record it, see it twice, and do this. So we're going to take a breather on doing all those and just focus more on the retrospectives and catalog stuff. And then we'll obviously do new releases as they become, well, catalog themselves.
We scored a goal.
Oh, shut up. Anyways, we're going to wrap this one up. Give us a shout at Citizen Frame _podcast and, of course, Instagram. I'm done. I crave a grilled cheese sandwich now with some nice bread, with some baguette.
Yeah.
A baguette.
Yeah.
Or croissant.
Indeed. I would like to see you in the occupied France with a wee beret and stripy jumper and a wee moustache.
I'd be like, oh, oui, I'm Pepe Le Pew. Oui. I took French for like 4 years, and that's all I know is like, je m'appelle.
I did it in school as well, and I wasn't into languages. Yeah. I liked history and art and English. That was about it. So it wasn't in the language. I like Latin, actually, doing Latin. But yeah, anyway.
Yeah, I can see you fucking speaking Latin.
I actually found it really interesting, Latin. But not only that, they taught us about like classical sort of history, like Roman history and Greek history and stuff, which was always very cool. You know, all their mythology and stuff. You know, Romulus and Remus and all the Hercules stuff from Greek history and stuff. All very cool stuff. But anyway.
I just watched Clash of the Titans.
Again, Jason and the Argonauts. Can't go wrong with that. We should do that, actually. You know, especially with the Odyssey being released now. Go back to our original, earlier sort of ones.
No, we'll eventually get to the Odyssey once it's settled down a bit, and then we'll do like, you know,
classics month or something.
We'll do like Spartacus, Troy, Odyssey, Clash of the Titans,
Jason and the Argonauts,
you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I
like what was my Ray House? My always go to is Sinbad and the Seven Seas.
Yes, Ray Harryhausen, Tom Baker's in that, I believe. I think that's the one he's in.
Okay, let's just move on before he mentions
the commentator in Escape to Victory was in Doctor Who in the 1980s. There you go.
Nobody gives a fuck. Nobody cares.
I know, but it's funny.
Nobody fucking cares. I'm going to end life now. So
you'll not be back for the next podcast then.
I know that we'll be back. We'll be back with Falling Down. All right, guys. Take care of yourselves. We'll talk soon.